Gugulethu Mbentse. I'm an HR manager for Duma Collective. I'm a proudly village girl. I come from KZN in a place called Ngutu. My village is called Engonini. So I was born in Buthelezi, got married to Mbentse. So yeah, my HR journey started like more than a decade ago. Where I was just working in a banking space, and I decided that okay, no, this I love. So I'm self-taught mostly, and I'm recently finishing my BCom in HR management, which I'm so proud of myself for doing that. And yeah, I've been in almost all the industries that you can think of. And that has made me to be more experienced when it comes to HR. So yeah, my HR journey has been very, very interesting. And I'm still learning more because, in life we learn almost every day. You learn about something new. So it's just something that I enjoy. I enjoy working with people. I enjoy making sure that people are okay at work, they are being productive, and so forth. So yeah, that's me.
Hi everyone, welcome back to ConnectHR. It's your sizzling host, Babi Mawela. We are back with yet another banging episode. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. We love and appreciate you. Please don't forget the house rules. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. As you've heard, today's guest is Mbentse. She has already introduced herself. Today we will be talking about managing work life and personal life. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Are you feeling good about being here?
What can I say?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm feeling good, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Thanks, Gugu. We are so privileged to have you here. And although you have already introduced yourself, maybe just give our audience some context as to what you do on a daily basis at work and which company you work for.
All right. As I've said before, I'm an HR manager.
Yeah.
I work for Duma Collective. It's a communication agency. And on a day-to-day basis, I deal with humans.
Yeah.
I deal with people. I just make sure that everyone at work is okay, on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I make sure that there are rules and regulations within the company, and that the company, abide within the labor laws of South Africa.
Okay.
That's my main thing, hey?
That's your main thing.
Yes.
Dealing with people, how are you finding that? Is that your passion? Is that your calling? How are you feeling about that?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. My journey started years and years ago.
Yeah.
Over a decade ago. So I was actually working for one of the banks when you're young and you're still trying to find your niche,
Yes.
where do you fit in. So and then within the bank I learned of HR.
Okay.
So that's when I was like, I like this thing.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's gonna fit within me. So that's when I started like going towards HR.
Okay.
And then after that, it has been a smooth ride. And working with people, it fulfills me,
Yeah.
because it feels like sometimes you are grooming people within the business,
Yeah.
within the workplace, and being a safe space for people is the most fulfilling thing for me.
I love the safe space part because you deal with a lot of confidential information. People are coming to vent.
Yes.
You're basically the mommy of the company, the big sister.
I'm everything.
Yeah.
I'm a therapist. I'm like everything. Everyone knows that that's our safe space.
Yeah. And that's the reason why we have you here, because we want to hear from an expert such as yourself, managing personal life and work life. Let's start with just understanding what that means to you.
To me, it means that people must balance their work life.
Yeah.
Okay? You balance your home life with your work life. You don't let your work life consume your home life, you know. Then you end up not having a life outside of work, you know. So it is important to manage that, and it's one of our duties as HR managers to manage that, to ensure that people, you know, they don't use work as an escape. Where they end up like being at work up until 9 o'clock, you know?
Yeah.
And you find them at work and you're like, what you doing here? No, I'm just, you know, it's
just
deadlines,
yeah.
it's deadlines, but only to find out that it's because of the home
situation
life,
at
the
home.
situation at home, you understand? So you end up now, you know, having people that are not happy at work, because that's why we're calling it work-life balance, because when it balances, people are able to be productive in the workspace if they are happy at home as well.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to find out from you, what are the signs, apart from those that you've already mentioned, that someone is really finding it difficult to find a balance between work and personal life?
One of the most common signs is when people, they don't want to take leave.
Okay.
They don't want to take leave. Like, you even have to ask themselves, when are you taking leave, you know? Like, in my space, we do lots of events, you know, we work with clients that are, it requires people to be on the ground on a Saturday and Sunday. And then you find people, then when you find people that always wants to be on the ground, they don't want to rest. That's one of the biggest signs.
Yeah.
Then you need to know how to manage that as an HR manager.
Sure. And how do you cope in situations like that when you identify that Babi is not taking leave? Do you force them to go on leave? I just want to understand.
Yeah, there is something that's called forced leave.
Yeah.
You can force people to go and leave, but I believe that you need to do it in a human way, you know, where you just call a person. I believe in having one-on-ones to understand people. That helps you to understand the headspace of a person, where they are at, you know.
Yeah.
So when you call in a person, you're like, how are you? How are you feeling? You know, you haven't taken leave. Why haven't you taken leave? You need to take leave. And most of the time people would say, I've got a lot on my plate, you know. Then you suggest things like, take a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Those are only 3 days, but we've got a weekend as well. So it's like 5 days basically of resting, and try to rest. And you manage that situation in a way that when the person comes back, you're able to call them in and be like, did you rest? You know, that's why it's so important, if you are an HR manager or if you're in HR, to have people skills.
Yeah.
To be able to be open, right? That people are able to come to you and be like, okay, Gugu, I'm going through this, you know, or at work, I mean, at home, these are things that are happening. Okay, fine. We do find that people are not the same. Yeah. There are people who just don't want to talk about their personal lives, you know, but you can see the signs. You can see the signs. You try all the best, you know, as much as you can to just make sure that they do take time off.
Yeah. I love how you answered that. And I'm just sitting here and thinking, you mentioned people skills. Do you believe that people skills is something that is taught in school or taught in some kind of a learning institution, or is it a calling to many that are in a space that is like yours?
I think, okay, we do have courses like people management and what's not, but honestly, I believe that it's something that's within you, you know. When you're doing something, you must do it because you love it, because you have love for it. And when you've got love for it, it comes naturally. It comes natural. Fine, we can go to school and we learn how to manage people. You know, and to have people skills. But if you do not have it as a person, you know, then it's impossible. It's impossible to just do what you were taught in school if it's not within you, you know, if it's not your passion. So it needs to be a passion. If you're passionate about people, then it's easy.
It's easy.
Yes.
It's easy. I love that. So we have a ConnectHR system, and it deals with leave management, and it's one of our main features actually. And as you're talking, I want to find out from you the systems that are currently put in place for HR. Do you believe that people who develop these systems can maybe assist in making sure that employees are taking enough leave, and so like basically can these systems encourage them rather to take leave when required, or when we feel like you need to take the leave?
Yeah. I think they can do that by just sending, reminders to say that, okay, so far you've got, that there is a leave cycle, right?
Yeah.
And when it's about to end and you're going to forfeit your days,
Okay.
then they get something like a reminder. They're saying that, hey, just to nudge you, hey, you've got 12 unused days, and it's going to expire on so and so.
Yeah.
And I know maybe it's going to cause panic, because some people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to lose my days.
Yeah.
But I think if it's managed properly, maybe 3 months before the expiry date,
Yes.
they get those notifications. They're able to follow the company rules or policies and procedures when it comes to taking leave. Then they're able to take their leave.
Okay. And I want to pick your brain a little bit. You mentioned that you deal with labor law, and I feel that a lot of small businesses that we sell the system to are not quite in tune with labor laws. I want to maybe ask you to kindly share factors about labor law that companies, like I have a small business, and I might think that I know the law when I don't. But what advice or what insights would you like to give to our viewers about the important factors or aspects of labor law?
Okay. I think, first of all, it's very important to know about labor laws, what it entails, what it says, all the laws that we have in South Africa. Because if you don't follow those laws, your business is going to get into trouble.
Yeah.
It's going to get into trouble. So it's always important to ensure that you are in the know, I mean, with the labor laws.
Yeah.
So meaning that when you're facing a certain situation, you can always refer to the labor law and say, okay, can I do this? For instance, you want to do retrenchment.
Yeah.
You want to retrench. Okay, I'm in tune with Section 189.
Yeah.
I'm able to do it properly. Then I don't find myself facing CCMA, as a business, So if a company is not in tune with that, I always advise that maybe find a consultant.
Yeah.
Find someone that can assist you, You don't, someone does something, an employee does something, then you decide, you are fired.
Yeah.
Like in the movies.
Yeah.
It's the movies, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
So you need to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Like disciplinary rules,
Yes.
like
The
step by step,
procedures.
the process to the T, And then when you're letting go of an employee, it must be for a reason, a good reason.
Yeah.
Not just because, no, you know what, I'm fed up. You're messing up.
Yeah.
You don't even want to hear why the person is messing
up.
Fairness is very important.
So now that we're speaking about labor law, you mentioned something about dismissals, like unfair dismissals, and what is please explain as though you're explaining to a 3-year-old. What are the steps rather that companies should always take when applying these labor laws in the business, in things like dismissals? What are the steps before you can retrench or dismiss someone?
Okay. Let's start with dismissal, right? Dismissal, there are many reasons to dismiss, right? And it must be fair, first of all. What makes it fair is whether you follow the process,
Yeah.
whether you gave the employee the chance to speak for themselves,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Okay, the whole process starts with you giving the employee a notification of a hearing, of a disciplinary
Okay.
hearing. Give them 48 hours to go and think about what they're going to say and all that. They come back, they put their case, and you let them interrogate the company.
Okay.
So say you say something, you are the manager, and then you've put a case against the employee. Then the employee must have a fair chance to, and when you find them guilty, you must make sure that they knew that there is a rule,
Okay.
and the rule exists,
Yeah.
and they were aware of it,
Okay.
and they did, which means you did what you did knowingly that you're not supposed to do it. So that way you've covered all your bases. You know, you're able to, even before you dismiss, they give you their mitigating factors where they tell you, okay, I did this, but I've got 20 kids that I need to feed, or 1 in 2 and 3, you know. And then with retrenchment, it's just making sure that everyone understands why they are being retrenched. Not just waking up in the morning. It's a procedure.
Yeah.
It doesn't take 2 days.
Yeah, and be like, actually, we're not doing well. Let's
No,
retrench.
let's just retrench. No.
Yeah.
You need to be transparent, especially with retrenchment.
Okay.
You need to be very, very transparent.
Yeah.
Let people know if it's because of financial issues. Show them your financials. Show them, we're running at a loss, so we're unable to carry on with this. And give them a promise that if we up and running within a certain period of time, you will be the first people to call. Then you've covered your bases.
Sure. Ladies and gents, it's the first time we're touching on labor law, by the way. So I'm quite excited because you'll be so surprised how people are just winging it in businesses. And because we speak to the HR industry, so we need to always keep ourselves familiar with the laws, with the changes, the trends. So that's why we have people like you to always keep us abreast of those kind of factors. And what advice do you have to people who don't feel like work is a safe space?
I think I would just say that you need to create a safe space for yourself, because sometimes you might think it's not a safe space, but it is, only to find out that it is a safe space.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's a duty of the HR department to make people feel comfortable, to come to them, with anything, be in a space where you have a sort of an open door policy. That's what I always say. I always say that I've got an open door policy. Anyone can come to me at any time, I know with big organizations, it's not easy for people to go straight directly to the HR manager. They can go to an HR officer,
yes,
an HR admin, but the HR department must ensure that, the managers, the departmental managers, they are able to, they train them to be able to have that eye to see that, okay, something is wrong here, then an HR person can be delegated to go and, fix the situation, and ensure that, because it is very important for people to feel safe at work.
Yes.
Because we want people to be productive, How are you going to be productive if you're at work and you're not feeling like you belong here, this is a home? No, you're not going to be productive. So that's why we exist. That's why the HR exists. It's just to make sure that people at work, they are free, they feel at home, and they are able to produce. Remember, we are like a bridge between the employee and an employer.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So we just make sure that this one is satisfied, this one is satisfied. That's our job.
Yeah. I love that. I love how you answered it. And, there are people, believe it or not, that are very scared of HR. And that is strange to me.
It is.
Because it's not supposed to be that way. And I know of previous experiences where HR has been reported that they're not listening to the needs of employees. They're not listening to... So in instances like that, what's your take on on situations like that where HR is not a safe space or people are scared to report how HR is actually running the business on behalf of the employer.
It is very sad. It is very sad that people will find themselves not able to go to HR, but there are people who are above HR.
Yes.
If you see that, no, it's not working, I'm going to Gugu and Gugu is not helping me. I think Gugu is biased, or something like that. You can go to, I report to the MD. So you can go to the MD and be like, no, I've tried, and I'm not winning, because I believe that the MD will be able to now go and have a chat with the HR department, and that's something that needs to be taken serious, because now it's gonna mess like the whole structure of the business, and the productivity of the business as well. So if the MD or the CEO now can take it, upon themselves to just come and sit down with HR and say, hey, people are complaining, this is what's going on, then it can easily be a solve.
Sure. Ladies and gents, that is Gugu giving us some great insights. Let's take a short break. Let's take a short breather. We'll be back. Time is ticking. We've got new features on ConnectHR. You'll be able to access the following: timesheets, intuitive tax calculator, fringe benefits calculator, and a comprehensive leave report. Seamless HR solutions for the everyday company. So we are back from our little ad. We hope we enjoyed it. You enjoyed it, sorry. Don't forget, if you want to start your 30-day free trial, click on try.connecthr.co.za. So, Googs, please, let's loosen up a bit. We've been talking about
serious
HR
stuff,
laws, procedures. Let's hear about you. And your personal life journey. Our audience loves it, by the way, when our guests share a little bit about themselves and they take away from that, and I think it helps them become better. That's how they manage to stick here.
Okay, love
so
it.
We'd like to know, what was your most memorable time of your life where you felt like you've helped someone become better?
All right. Where do I start? So let me just start by just telling you who am I, right? So I'm originally from KZN, KwaZulu-Natal, in a village called Engonini. The place is called Ngutu.
Okay.
So it's very rural. Like we lived a basic life where in the school, when you were taught English, you had to be taught English, and then they explain sometimes in Zulu, you understand, in a way that you had to be a person who's ambitious in order for you to get out of home, and make something out of yourself, right? So I finished matric, and my love for reading, it's one thing that helped me because I would be in the library, now and then be in the library. So when I finished school, everyone back at home, if you are not a nurse, if you're not a teacher, if you're not a policeman, if you're not a doctor, if you're lucky, or a social worker, then you are nothing. So I'm the one person. I think in my village, I'm the only one who's into HR, who's an HR manager. People, they don't understand that. So I feel that even though I haven't inspired anyone from home, but I feel that I do need to have that journey of going back home and teaching people that there are other things beside being a teacher. Beside being, this and that, just give them, career advice with other careers. So on my HR journey, yes, I do have people that I have inspired. I remember I was with one company as an HR manager for approximately 5 years. I started that department, and I had about like 4 people reporting to me, and 2 of them I groomed them
Okay.
from being,
junior.
babies, from being babies to where they are today. And it's so lovely to see when they credit me, and say, yo, I'm this today because of you,
Yeah.
People that came in not knowing anything, fresh from school, and having to groom them and give them the knowledge that I have. I think I'm very passionate with just empowering people when it comes to HR.
Yeah.
Specifically HR. I don't know. There's something about HR in me.
Yeah, I can tell. Sure, Gugu. And what is your parting words? What is your advice to the youth of South Africa, since they are the majority of our viewers?
What can I say? Just always have ambitions, have goals, because if you're doing something and you don't have goals, you don't know where you're going. It's just like, I'm just going, but I don't know where I'm going. But if you've got goals, it's always easy to reach them,
Yeah.
and it's fulfilling to reach them. Once you've reached those goals, you will be happy with yourself. In these days, we find people that are unhappy.
True.
Mental health is problematic these days.
True.
People are unhappy. So you just make sure that you find things that makes you happy, especially within the space that you're in. Whatever, career that you're in, just make sure that you are there because you're happy, not just because I want to get a job, I want to have money,
Yeah.
but just make sure that I'm just an advocate for happiness.
Yeah.
Even at my workplace,
Yeah.
they know that, okay, I'm always there, bubbly,
Yeah.
making sure that everyone is okay, everyone is fine. And that makes life just easy,
Yeah. Thank you. And where do people find you on social media?
Am I a social media person?
Are you?
Okay, on Facebook, I am Gugulethu.
Okay.
Mashenge Mbentse.
Okay.
That's the same as Instagram, and
Okay.
as well as TikTok.
On LinkedIn?
I am Gugulethu Mbentse.
Okay.
I think I'm the only Gugulethu Mbentse on LinkedIn.
Is it?
Yeah. You'll never find another one. I'm the only one.
That's nice
So
to
you can
know.
find me there and connect with me.
But thank you so much for joining us. You took your time to just join us and share your knowledge. We love and appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in. We don't want to spoil it for you. Leave a comment in the comment section and let us know what you thought about the episode. It's your sizzling host, Babi Mawela. See you next time.